I gotta stop leaning into the damn microphone, man. I noticed that I gotta stop leaning into it because this motherfucker pick up good. All right, but what up though? Gun Freak Nation, salute, man. I know this is impromptu. All my motherfucking lives is impromptu. So I'm just, I'm gonna tap in for a few minutes, see what's going on with y'all. You feel me? Give it a few minutes for people to tap in. What up though, Nunu? Nunu, what's good? What up though? You can't come on the desk like you tried to do earlier. All right? You can't come on this table, all right? You can chill right there on the keyboard. I should not let you sit on my keyboard, man. These cats sometimes drive me crazy. Thank you for the like. We got people up in here. We got the yes, get them likes up. Get them likes up, y'all. I just want to tap in. How y'all doing tonight? Gun Freak Nation. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, if you see some hair right there, I'm trying to grow my beard out, a full beard. You know what I'm saying? Where I got it, just not right here, cause this goatee. Trying to, I don't styled it, shaped it, just going for a new look. You dig? And then Halloween, I'm gonna be Prince. On Halloween, that's my favorite artist of all time. So if you see me with my rig on, remember when P Diddy was Prince? I think that nigga was like Prince for like. I think P Diddy was like Prince for Halloween like 2 years straight. That's another reason why I fuck with P Diddy, cause the nigga is a Prince fan like me. Oh, we got some comments up in this motherfucker. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? What up? What up, though? I appreciate you, L Bowen and Bubba. You gotta forgive me. I ain't got my real glasses on. Bubba Bap. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Speaking of Prince, I want to say, damn, Nunu, with your big ass, do not knock my shit over. You got the damn monitor shaking. Chill. Nunu ass got to be about 20, 30 pounds. Big ass cat. I know y'all see his big ass in the background, but anyway, man. Thank you. Who was that super chatted me? I am Johnny Snow. What's up, Johnny? Get at me. Get at me, Johnny. That's all I'm gonna say. Get at me. I ain't even got your number no more. My phone got fucked up. I ain't even got your number no more. Get at me. I need you to come on the show. Let's do some gun reviews. Let's do something, man. You know what I'm saying? You the one that Johnny. You are the reason. You are the reason why I love the AK platform, the AK-47. I don't have the M92. I still got the micro Draco, you know. When I first encountered you, brother. Oh, when I put that rig on for Prince on Halloween, I'm envy of my brother Johnny Snow, Seifu Lonzo, Jesus, because them brothers got long hair, and unfortunately, I didn't have the genes in me to grow my hair long like that. So y'all gonna see me. Y'all saw me with the afro when I went to that 70s party, right? Or the 80s party or whatnot. You're gonna see me with the Prince, with the purple shirt, my hair, the Superman curl, all that good shit. But Johnny, you the one put me on to the AK. When I first saw you, trying to think when I first saw you, Johnny. I think it might have been like 2017, some shit like that. Johnny was in a he was in a I think he was in a gas station or a party store or something. I don't know. Johnny ass was in there and he was like he had an AK-47 and he was like, will this AK round, the 7.62 by 39, will it penetrate this bulletproof glass? And that motherfucker did. And I said, man, this is a cool ass dude. I said, you know what? Because of Johnny, I got to get me an AK. So Johnny, I'm going to always have love for you and respect for you. And when we did our thing back in the day, when we had electric snow, man, if I wouldn't have like gave up on it, and I feel bad for doing it, we probably would be like millionaires by now. You know what I'm saying? So I love you. I'm always gonna love you. You know, tell Sunshine I said hello. Tell your sister I said hello. She fam too. Um, tell your cousin Tommy I said come on the show. Get Tommy ass on this show. Get your cousin Tommy on the show. I love that video footage when you sent to me of her blessing that AK. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to flirt with her and nothing like that. You did. That's fam. You know what I'm saying? That's ha. I love you, Johnny. Come on the show and hit me up, man. I lost a lot of people numbers and shit, man. So I got to get all that back. I don't forget what the fuck I was about to talk about. Oh, rest in peace to my brother D Angelo. When I found out about that, I found out about it actually yesterday, like around 10 in the morning. I'm scrolling through YouTube and somebody was doing a live and it had RIP D'Angelo. I'm like, what the fuck? Hell no, man. These niggas is capping just to get views. So I picked up my phone and I Googled D'Angelo, and damn, man, the shit was true. I couldn't believe it. I woke my girl up. She sleep, snoring and everything. I woke her up. I said, baby, they said D'Angelo died. She couldn't believe it. We couldn't even go to sleep after that. All we did was watch his videos. We spent the whole day watching, listening to his music and watching his videos. My favorite all-time D'Angelo song is probably How Does It Feel? How does it feel? It was something about that that's soulful. And then it made me go back to his 2014 album, Black Messiah. That's when he had put together that band. It was called D'Angelo and the Vanguard. I highly suggest, if you really into D'Angelo like that, you got to go check out that his last album, The Black Messiah. Ooh, when you could tell on that album that he was influenced by Prince and like Parliament Funkadelic, because that album, the songs on that album is just so funky, so soulful, just incredible. That's the type of music. That's the type. Damn, I forgot to bring my water. That's the type of music that I love. I never did like that sugar sweet, poppy ass. Candy Rain just went live, baby. I just never did. I like the arcane shit. I like the way out there shit. I like the psychedelic shit. And that album, if I wasn't concerned about YouTube striking me, I would be rocking that shit right now, man. But rest in peace, D'Angelo. You one of a kind. You innovative. And thank you for all of the music, all of the incredible music that you created, man. That is awesome, man. We losing people, left and right. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing my baby told me that somebody from the group Kiss passed away today. Say he fell or something. And, people was leaving. I'm not too. I remember Kiss, but I never did really get into their music like that. But I appreciate every music. I'm a musical person. I'm a music producer myself. So yeah, rest in peace, D'Angelo. But anyway, what's going on, y'all? What up, though? We got 15 people. Talk to me. What's up? What's up, P41? Um, love and salute to the D. I actually lived in Detroit on 8 Mile and Telegraph. That's what's up, man. That's what that's right around the corner from me. Well, I ain't gonna say literally right around the corner, but I'm close to Telegraph. I'm yeah. I'm not trying to. What up though, Carl? What's good? What's up, Kev? Um, yeah. My favorite track by him. Um, How does it feel? And then he got a song on the Black Messiah album, which was his last album back in 2014 called Prayer. Man, mm, that shit. When you listen to music, like real soul music, he didn't like being characterized as being a neo soul artist, man. He wasn't trying to get boxed in, you know what I'm saying? And Black Messiah was like a experimental, soulful, psychedelic album, and I loved it, man. He didn't consider himself a neo soul, even though he's one of the pioneering artists to bring neo soul to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Because the early '90s is when that neo soul started popping off. You had the shit. First and foremost, D Angelo. Who else? Jill Scott. Music Soul Child. Common. Um, it's a lot. Kim. I guess you could consider Kim being a neo soul or whatnot. But all that shit kicked off in the early '90s, and uh, D'Angelo led the way, the forefront with that. Give me that brown sugar, ooh, give me that brown. See, I'm fucking it up. One thing I do got ears, but I can't sing worth of shit. But that brown sugar, man. The brother had it's just some jams. And then one thing for sure, he was a Prince fan. Every interview that I ever saw him do, when they would ask him who was his inspiration and who inspired him, Prince was always number one. Then it might be Earth, Wind, and Fire or somebody else, but Prince was the very first artist that he would bring up, man. And when they got the link up and it was just, yeah, he gonna be missed, man. We lost a musical giant yesterday, and it's just to tell you, you just don't know how much time we have on this earth, or what could happen, or what's around the corner awaiting us. And my brother, he knew he was dying because he was in hospice, man. I hate cancer with a passion because I lost my sister to cancer. 25 years. It'll be 25 years in December. It'll be 25 years that she been gone from breast cancer. And I hate it, man. It will steal your life. It is very painful, and to see people go out like that, because I saw it when my sister, I saw when her health declined within a span of 6 months. That's a motherfucker when the doctor tells you that you got X amount of time, that your time is nearing, and you got it. And I don't even mean to turn this you know into something sad. You know what I'm saying? But it's part of reality. It's a part of life. And I used to be like, how in the hell do doctors know that shit? But when I looked it up and did my research, they know when your vital organs, how much life that your vital organs, like your heart, your liver, your kidneys, they know that some kind of way, they know how long they gonna continue to function, man. And I remember I lost my brother Kurt, aka Bug. I lost him back in 2018. And I remember him coming to me and he was like, the doctor said I'm fucked up, T. I'm fucked up. I ain't got long. And I'm thinking, oh, Bug, you just bullshit, nigga. You want me to, you just want me to, you want somebody to feel sorry for you. So, you love my cooking and shit. Cause when he was living a couple of doors down from me and he was sick, I was cooking for my brother and shit. And I'll do that shit again. You know what I'm saying? But he was right, man. That was like in September when he told me that, and he passed the day before Thanksgiving. You know, life is a motherfucker, man. Life is a motherfucker. That's why I got to do better. If I want to be here, as long as I can, and it damn sure when I leave, I damn sure don't want it to be at the hands of a funky ass savage. You know what I'm saying? I thank you, Hitman. You know what I'm saying? But the just to keep it all the way funky, man. The way I look at it, like my daddy told me one time, and rest in peace to Dad, who passed away in 2007. And my mama used to say the same thing. When you go, where they at is pretty much everybody's destination. You know what I'm saying? They don't get theirs over with. You know what I'm saying? They don't get theirs over with. Now, once you cross that threshold, I don't know what happens when you die or when you dead. That's something that all of us, me, you, all of us got to find out one day. One day, it'll be our turn. It'll be our day. And we won't be able to return to tell people about it. That's the ultimate mystery right there. But I was thinking something crazy the other night, y'all. I'm like, matter of fact, I was having a discussion with my woman, and we was, because she lost, let me tell you what she went through. In 2020, she lost her mother. I'm the one that ran over there. She stayed 2 doors down from my townhouse. I tried to perform. I did perform CPR on her to try to bring her back. 911 was on the dispatcher was telling me what to do. But I can tell she was already gone. She was already cold. You know what I'm saying? But she lost her mom in 2020. She lost her sister in 2021. And then she lost her brother in 2022. 3 years straight, she took a loss, man. Half of her family gone. More than half. Life is crazy, but we was having a discussion, right? And I'm like, we was just talking about everything, man, from UFOs to if you turn it on the news, man, you'll see a lot of these sightings and shit, like orbs and stuff. And I had my own situation, my own event back in 2016 where I saw that orb. Y'all, I know y'all probably get tired of me talking about that experience that the event that I witnessed back in 2016, but I can't help myself but to talk about it because it was just something that was just mind-boggling, that blew my fucking mind, because I knew whatever I was looking at, it wasn't normal. You know what I'm saying? It was bizarre. It was something that I felt wasn't from this dimension or from this earth. And to this day, I don't know what the fuck it was, but I didn't have no fear. I was just intrigued by it, but we was having that discussion, and we was talking about, pretty much life after death, like what happens to you when you die. And my response was, I think when you're dead, you just dead, and I don't know what it's like to feel like I don't know how it feels not to exist anymore. I guess we go back to where we came from. You know what I'm saying? Even though I've met people that claim that they can remember when they was in their mother's belly. How I'm not lying. It's people I've met say I remember when I don't know how you can remember that shit, but hey, if you remember that, then hey. But what I'm getting to is that what up though? Um you got your body, right? This the way I look at it, this is a vessel. This is a container. This is something. You got your vital organs. You got your heart. You got your lungs. You got your liver. You got your kidneys. You got all of your vital organs. You got your brain that makes you function. You know what I'm saying? But my question was to her is what makes you you, which is what makes unique, like a Johnny Snow. There's no other Johnny Snows. There's no other Kyles or everybody in here. We are our own unique individual, right? Everybody is unique. Even if you got a set of twins, one of them is going to be unique. They're not going to be the same. So what is it? Where is it coming from that gives me my voice, that gives me my personality, that gives me the very essence of the person that I am? And I don't think it's just because I have a brain, because everybody else has a brain. Everybody that's living, amongst us, they all have a brain. Even though, even the savages have a brain. They just use it for evil purposes. But what makes us, the conversation turned to what makes us the individual that we are, the very essence of us. And I replied, it's our spirit. It's our spirit. It's our soul. You did? It's our soul. It's our spirit. And the question then became, what happens to that spirit? If it's being powered by our brain, does it die too? Does whatever that makes us special, unique, is that a part of our brain? I don't know. But is the brain and the body, is that really trapping the spirit? And when we die, is the spirit, the soul, is it free? My brother Bug, he used to always say, man, death ain't shit. We just stuck in a body. We stuck in a body. We are all souls and we stuck in a body. And it made me think, I'm like, damn, what is it that, like, what if death is not the final, the final thing in life? What if death is just the beginning of something else? So that's when we dived into like all these other little topics. That's when like the UFO stuff, like there's other dimensions, other beings, spiritual beings. Some people think they're spiritual beings. Some people call them demons. Some people think that they from another galaxy, another planet. And I'm like, I told my woman, I'm like, what is these, whatever they are, so fucking advanced that they're not limited, they're not bound by time. If you notice here on Earth, everything is bound by time. You got the haves and you got the have-nots. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got it, you're gonna have a miserable motherfucking life. That's just the way the world is set up. But for the wealthy people, the rich people, and I'm not hating on nobody. I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody happy. I want to see everybody be, comfortable in life. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is we're still bound by time. And one thing about death, when it do hit, death don't give a fuck. Death ain't racist. Death, death do not discriminate. Death don't give a fuck whether you are 110 years old or whether you 1 year old or maybe you 1 day old. It don't give a fuck. When it's your time, you up out of here. Death don't care whether you a motherfucking famous superstar or a homeless person out there living on the streets, man, sleeping on the sidewalk. Death don't care. You gon' he gonna collect you. Ain't no getting away from it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can run, you can be scared, it ain't no escaping it because we're bound by time and everybody got their time. And yesterday was D Angelo's time, man. He had cancer, but it was his time. You know what I'm saying? So I you know, everybody everybody is sad when they lose somebody that they love, um because of all of the time that they spent with that person, getting to know them. They family members, friends. um so we be mad, but at the same time we got to also think that, you know what, they ran a good race, but they race, it's over. You know what I'm saying? They time is up. And the second that you are born into this world, hmm, all we got is time. You know what I'm saying? That's all we got is time. I don't know how much time I got. A week from now, y'all might be like, damn, that nigga T gone, man. I'm gonna miss that nigga. You know what I'm saying? It could be tonight. We don't know. But all we do know is that all we can do is try to be the best that we can be, and navigate this thing called life, and try to be righteous. Take a righteous path instead of a wicked path. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we can do. I got love for all my brothers. I got love for Johnny. I got love for James Walker. I got love to Eyes and Ears Tactical. I got love for Trey 57. I got love for all of y'all. And speaking of Eyes and Ears Tactical, let me tell you how a stand-up brother that this man is. Number one, he's a and I hope you don't mind me putting your business out there, but you should be honored and proud. The brother is a military veteran. You know what I'm saying? He's fought in wars for this country. You know what I'm saying? So I love him. He's a hero. You dig? I don't necessarily agree with the power. I don't necessarily, the cats is going crazy. I don't necessarily agree with the politics that send our men and women into harm's way, but they still do it, and for that they're heroes. But the reason why I fuck with him too, he's a stand up guy, and he sent me some information today. Let me give y'all a scoop on this shit. I'm been positive. I'm gonna go a little negative now, just a little bit of negative. I ain't gonna let this demon, this hater, this fucking troll. A troll can never steal my joy. They come up in here, I get them up out of here, man. I don't go back and forth, because the minute that you go back and forth, you give them what they want, and then they can in return report you to YouTube, and YouTube will give you a strike, or YouTube can decide to take your channel. So this is why I don't really go tit for tat. I don't go back and forth with no fucking trolls, because they to me, a troll is a confused fan. They don't like you. They can't stand you. They hating on you, but they can't get enough of you. You dig? They don't like you. They can't stand you. They hating on you, but they can't get enough of you. You know what I'm saying? They stalking you and watching you. You's a fucking confused fan. But let me get back to the point what I was trying to make. My brother, Eyes and Ears Tactical, hit me up. He texted me. He was like, T, did you see this bullshit? I'm not gonna even name this fucking troll. But he went on Eyes and Ears Tactical page, left a comment fucking paragraphs long, my nigga. Like the fucking paragraph this fucking long talking about me. And even insinuated that I was talking about Eyes and Ears Tactical, which he knew was some bullshit because let me show y'all something right now. God damn it. Let me show y'all something. Pull this up. Damn, now I don't want to give away your number, but y'all see that right there? That say Eyes and Ears Tactical, man. So obviously this troll didn't know that me and him is cool. So he bashed me, accused me of certain things, basically accused me of talking shit about him. Eyes and Ears, what I love about the brother, he put that motherfucker in his place. And then he gave me a heads up. I was about to go over there, go off on his ass, but I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna even go to Eyes and Ears Tactical channel and be cutting up like that. Get your big ass down. I'm not gonna even be tripping on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But whoever this bitch ass nigga is, and when I say nigga, he happened to be a right motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know I'm not no racist or nothing like that. Plenty of my peoples in Gun Freak Nation is right. You know that? This nigga happened to be a right nigga, right? Called Tactical something. I don't even, I ain't even trying to, give him no, but I'm gonna tell you something. You's a bitch. For you to so-called be a grown man, what grown man will go on another man's channel, talk about another man, and then try to imply that I don't like Eyes and Ears Tactical? That tells me that you is a whole bitch. You's a bitch. And you probably ain't even got no pussy. I was about to, you probably ain't even got no pussy. You ain't got no motherfucking life. And nigga, I went on the page so I can go to your page. I'm thinking I'm about to see some content right on this page, because I was about to clap back at his ass because the nigga was trying to go in on me, right? This nigga ain't even got not one motherfucking video on his channel, but he calling himself some type of tactical bullshit. Nigga, if you don't, you can suck both my balls, my big ball and my little ball, you bitch ass, pussy ass nigga. Nigga, be a man. If you got something to say, come on my motherfucking channel. I'll happily put the link up and you can come in and speak your motherfucking mind, you whole bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand a bitch ass, pussyfied ass nigga. Nigga, get a life. Get off my dick and get off of Eyes and Ears Tactical dick, you punk bitch. You know what I'm saying? Fucking haters like that is the reason why the world is fucked up the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? Because of punk pussy ass haters. You a confused motherfucking fan, nigga. You can suck my dick and my balls, you bitch. You know what I'm saying? I can go even deeper at this, but I'm the things in life, man, that people go through. It's only a problem when you think that it's a problem. See, shit like that, it only motivates me. It only inspires me to do even more and to ascend to even greater heights. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're doing something right, you're going to always have a motherfucker that's jealous, that's envy, and that's hating on you. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I'm doing something right for this motherfucker to say, yeah, I unsubscribe. Motherfucker, if you unsubscribe from me, then why the fuck you got my name in your mouth and you leaving comments on my brother's Eyes and Ears Tactical channel, you weirdo bitch nigga? Damn. I hope you know what, I hate to say this, forgive me, Lord, but I hope a savage do get your motherfucking ass. You deserve a dick stuck right up your fucking ass and in your mouth, you bitch. You's a bitch ass nigga. A bitch ass white nigga at that. suck my dick, my toes, my balls, and everything else. Punk bitch ass nigga. But anyway, let's get back. Johnny, I need you on the show. I want you on the show. Um, we had our own show. I fucked that up. I fucked that up. Anybody else that want to come on the podcast, we got Von Scales. Von Scales is going to be on the podcast very, very soon. The brother, he was like, T, whenever you ready, this will be the first, and forgive me, Von, I know you don't like it when I call you a celebrity, but this will be the first official celebrity on Gun Freak Nation. All right, he's married to Trina Braxton. Everybody know who's Trina Braxton is. He has a beautiful wife, you know, Trina Braxton. Her sister is Toni Braxton. Her sister is she got another sister named Tamar. Them the most famous. You know, you got Taronda, you got Tracy, which was my favorite. Rest in peace, Tracy. Rest in peace, Tracy Braxton. But Von is his own man. He got his own shit, you know. And I'll let him talk about his companies and all that shit that he got. He's into prepping. You know, he's into prepping. He reached out to me a year ago, last November. He was like, T, I like what you're doing, you know, telling people to get armed so they can go out and, you know, defend themselves and defend their families and stuff. And, you know, it's a righteous cause. And I never talked to him on the phone. We always communicated through text, but he wants, you know, to come on the show and do the live, but I just want things to be right. I don't want him to come on and only got 2 people, you know, watching. It's so much worth that. You know what I'm saying? It's so much worth more than that. So I got to promote it. I got to set up a specific day. Then my other brother right here in Detroit, Tactical Skillionaire, he reached out to me and he want me to come on his live and he's going to come on my live. So the podcast is not dead, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And Johnny, you already know, anytime when you want me to come on your live, brother, I am there. And my live here, this podcast is your podcast, Johnny. That's how much love I got for you, because when I went through my little illness, and I'm not all the way 100, but Johnny was there by my side, you know, just calling me and just giving me support, man. That's the type of good, righteous man that this man is, man, you know. And I'm gonna always love you. It's a couple, not too many YouTubers. Like, I love everybody, but it ain't too many YouTubers that I can say inspired me to do this, you know, what I do. Because this fucking channel started off as a beat making channel. I still make my beats. All right. I still, and I'm doing it more and more. I don't got my new computer. I don't got it like how I want. You know what I'm saying? But looking at Johnny Snow that day at that abandoned gas station, and he was like, will 7.62 by 39 penetrate bulletproof glass? And it did. I think it did. I saw him. I said, oh shit, look at the guns that this brother got. And I'm like, man, I think at that time I only might have had like maybe 1 or 2 guns. I might have only just had 1. Another person, rest in peace to Big L Gun Fund. Yep, Big L. I think it was Big L Gun Fund. Rest in peace to him. White dude out of Florida, man. And let me stop the reason why I bring up people race is I try to set it as an example. Like, at the end of the day, whether you're black, white, everything in between, black and white, at the end of the day, we all humans, right? We're human, you know. But I bring it up, I make it a point to be like, hey, Gun Freak Nation is for everybody. You know, just because I'm black doesn't mean that I'm a criminal or that I'm going to go out and rob somebody. I'm up to no good. Or just because you're right, It doesn't mean that you're a racist or you a hateful motherfucker or a serial killer, a Jeffrey Dahmer motherfucker, none of that. Media, man, it sets everything up to where it indoctrinates folks. You know what I'm saying? And people have biases in them, and they might not even know it. You know what I'm saying? Like my nephew, Rest B. I love him with all my heart. You know, he didn't mean no harm a couple of weeks ago when he used the word cracker, because I know that he's not no racist, but at the same time, people, my audience, may not know him like I know him. This guy fought in the military for this country. He's not no racist or nothing like that. Now, I should have. I was buzzed and I had been drinking. We went live for his birthday, right? And I was drinking and I wasn't. I heard it and I couldn't believe he said that shit, and it kind of shocked me. And then later on, I kind of, I called him and we had a conversation about it. And you know, he was like, "T, I'm not no racist. If you was a racist, I wouldn't fuck with you. I wouldn't call you nephew, even if you did adopt me as your uncle. I wouldn't have no parts of you." Why he said it, I don't know. That's just like a white person coming on the channel, and I know that this person is not racist, but they say the word nigger. You think I'm gonna be cool with that shit because I know him and I know his heart? No, I'm not gonna be cool with that shit. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's not cool to the people, my supporters. It's my audience. It's not cool, for them to hear some shit like that. And if you're not a racist, don't say racist shit. That's all I can say when it comes to that. And a few people got mad at me, and about 10 or 15 people got mad at me. And I ain't the one that said it, but they got mad at me and unsubscribed from the channel. My response to that, good riddance. Because I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want to say. Like, if I said the word honky, if I said the word cracker, if I said the whatever, y'all niggas know my fucking heart. I would never say those words, but y'all should be like, that's that nigga T crazy, man. That's still my aunt. I still love him and all that, because I know deep down he ain't got a racist bone in my body. And I don't. My father, my parents, especially my father, raised me that way, not to be that way. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you some stories about the shit that he went through in his lifetime coming from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like the day he had to be smart. The day I remember they was doing all that integration shit, where they was trying to, everything was segregated back then. My daddy and my mom, they remember going to the water fountains that was black only and white only. My daddy told me the story where a pickup truck full of white men with bats and shit and pipes and bats and rifles and shit, all, like he said, it was like about 10 of them motherfuckers on the back of a pickup truck, my nigga. And they rolled up on them and they was like, hey Negro, how you feel about, all this integration shit? You know what I'm saying? How you feel about that? How you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? My dad was smart. He was like, well, sir, he outnumbers only one of him and about 15 of them with bats and pipes and rifles and shit, rope. He was like, I think that the blacks belong where the blacks at, and the whites belong with the whites. That's what his response was. And he said them motherfuckers, racist motherfuckers, was like, you a good one. And they drove off. But did my father really feel that way? Nah, he didn't feel that way at all. Because he loved everybody just like how you think I got. how I feel from him. But he know that if he would have said he was down with that shit, I wouldn't be here right now. Cause I'm 1,000% certain that they was gonna lynch him. They was gonna lynch him. If he would have been like, yeah, I think it should be some integration, he would have been a dead man. So you got to be smart about it when you're dealing with the unrighteous. You know what I'm saying? You got to be smart about it. Now, a lot of people, oh, your father, he punked out. No, he didn't punk out. He was being smart. He outsmarted the devil. He gave them niggas something what they wanted to hear, because he didn't want to get lynched. He did not want to get lynched. You know what I'm saying? So I love you, Dad. I love you, because you make I'm here now because of that. You feel me? But what I was trying to say is Johnny Snow is one of the pioneers of this YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Big L Gun Fund. White guy from Florida, man. I remember like leaving a response under one of his videos because he actually his house was so fucking big, man. He used to shoot his fucking guns in his house. How dope! I'm Big L Gun Fund. Look him up. His content is still on YouTube, and I remember like just corresponding with him, and he the one that was giving me pointers, like hey, I think this would be a good idea. If you do this and do that and all that and stuff, and he was just giving me pointers on this YouTube shit, man. And my brother Big L, he passed away like some years ago, like shit. He passed away some years ago from brain cancer, man. I think he had a brain tumor, and it got the best of him and took him up out of here, man. And I'm always love that brother, man. Another one is Scott, Too Legit to Crit. He was a supporter of me, a subscriber, supporter, fam. I don't like calling y'all subscribers, but he fucked with the Gun Freak Nation. He passed away. Died from a house fire, man. His house caught fire, and him and his wife passed away. And I think the cat did too. He was a cat lover. I think the cat passed away too. I'm like, God damn, man. People checking up out this motherfucker, man. You just don't know, how much time you got. So why waste it on negativity? Why waste it on some shit that don't mean nothing at the end of the day? Focus on your life. Focus on being happy. Focus on the people that love you. Focus on the people that you love. Because we ain't gonna get no second chance. That's why I'm celebrating D Angelo playing his music and shit, man. I'm very, thankful and grateful to God that I lived in a lifetime to bear witness to his incredible music. Same thing for Prince. Same thing for Michael Jackson. Same thing for James Brown. Same things for that badass motherfucking Rick James, man. They all up out of here. But they left something for us to treasure as long as we own this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I can be sad all I want to, but at the end of the day, I ain't nothing special. We all at the end of the day gonna meet the same motherfucking fate. Ain't nobody getting up out of this bitch alive. Nobody. This is why I say, do your best to treat people like it's your last time. You know what I'm saying? Like the last time I saw my nephew. You know what I'm saying? I had his ass come over. I said, man, that nigga done fucked up something on my goddamn car, man. We went out there to Myers that night, that day. And when we got the groceries out in the cart, to get ready to pop the trunk, to put the groceries in the trunk, the fucking trunk wouldn't open. And the previous day, my nephew, I had got a little ticket, police pulled me over on some, my tail light, brake light or something was out and shit. And I had my nephew come over and put the new bulbs in and shit. Even put the little, them Cadillacs got them little brake light strips going across the entire trunk. That shit wasn't working. That bitch wasn't working when I bought the motherfucking car. Shit. I had him do that. I ordered a LED strip off of Amazon. Man, my nephew was so creative and genius that I call that nigga the jack of all trades, man. Because no matter what, when my motherfucking furnace went out when I was living at that townhouse, and then I found out that the niggas that I rented it from was some fucking slumlords. I said my toilet stopped up. Can you get somebody? They said fuck you. They got my money, and I said, you know what, motherfucker? I ain't paying you no motherfucking rent. And but I was paying rent. I fixed the toilet, but when my fucking furnace went out in the middle of January, for those who don't know, if you living in Michigan, January is one of the coldest motherfucking months out of the year. Man, my motherfucker, I've been paying my rent faithfully. My motherfucking furnace went out. Them niggas didn't. Oh my God, I get mad just thinking about this shit. Man, I had to go out and buy like 3 or 4 electric heaters. I had the nail up cover and shit to doorways to trap the heat in. I had to turn the fucking stove on. The stove niggas know how to be in hard times. One thing about a nigga, we gonna get through some shit. We not gonna give up. That's why I don't understand. Like in the 80s and 90s, niggas went through shit and we call it the struggle. Hell, some of us, including I, are struggling now. You dig what I'm saying? I'm grateful and thankful to God for what I have, but I want so much more, and I'm not being greedy. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be comfortable and your family comfortable, right? But, yeah, in the 80s and 90s, we went through shit. It's called hard times, but it's like nowadays, it's a thing called depression, and people, unalive, self-delete themselves. I'm like, man, what is this new shit? And I'm pretty sure depression did exist in the 80s and 90s, but niggas wasn't having that shit because shit ain't going real in my life. Doesn't mean that I want to off myself, even though it was one point in my life where I did think about the shit, I did contemplate it. And then I thought about where my life was at. I thought about this shit. I said, you know what? Damn, if I take myself out, I won't be able to hear the new Prince album next year. Cause that's back when Prince was that nigga was dropping a new album every year. I was in such a deep fucked up place. Cause I'm not gonna say dark because dark ain't got shit to do with righteousness or wickedness. It might, people associate blackness or dark skin or whatever. Some idiotic people associate that with being negative. So I'm not gonna say dark. I'm just say I was in a wicked place and I didn't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? But then I thought about that shit and I'm like, nah, I'm a pull through this shit. I'm gonna fight through this shit. It's just I didn't see or hear about people doing shit like that with all this depression. It's like popular now for you to delete yourself if shit ain't going right with your life, and for whatever reason in your life it ain't going well, and you sad, and having a self-pity party and all that, and then you want to just take yourself up out of here. No, man, that's not the answer. And so many people have left. I'm like, what the fuck happened between today's time and the 80s, versus the 80s and 90s? What happened? Why people are so easy to just give up, man? And I'll never understand that. I'll never understand that. But if you are going through some shit, and I can't judge you or what you going through. Some people are really going through some shit, but all I can do is just tell you, don't ever give up. I don't give a fuck how down you may be, how depressed you may be. You could be on the verge of being homeless, your family and shit. You still cannot give up, because believe it or not, God gonna make a way. Something gonna make a way. And you know, as long as you got breath in your body and you breathing, you in the land of the living, man, shit gonna change. You got a chance to turn it around. It may seem impossible, but trust me, my nigga, it can happen. If I told you the life that I lived, or the lack of life that I had or lived or whatever, man, you'd be like, damn, T. But I knew it was something strange about you. I knew it was something weird about your motherfucking ass, but it's okay. It's cool. I still love you. You know what I'm saying? I'll admit, I'm not no normal motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck you call normal nowadays or whatever, but I know off the rip, I ain't no normal ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. The life that I lived and all that and shit, and I'm not. And I'm not that much of a sociable motherfucker. I ain't never had no friends or nothing like that. People wanted to be my friend, but I just, something in me, I wasn't really trusting motherfuckers. Then I'm saying other motherfuckers like, shit, if like my brothers and sisters, if you got, what's up, Hitman? Yeah, stay above ground. You know, I don't want them type of friends, because they was just headaches. Motherfucker always asking for something, always need a motherfucking favor. And you can do that motherfucking favor for them a million motherfucking times. But the minute that you say no one time, you the worst motherfucker on earth. They gonna talk about your ass like a dog. I'm like, fuck that. So this is why I'm on Gun Freak Nation. Maybe God rewarded me. You know, this is why, you know, y'all are so near and dear to my heart, man. Near and dear to me. Trust me, it's not been easy to talk about the same topic, same shit for what shit like 7 years now. I think I started doing, you know, talking about like crime and all that shit like 2017 and shit, you know. Um like 8 years I've been doing it, but I feel like this is what the most high want. You know what I'm saying? This is what the most high want me to do, you know. And I'm gonna continue to be on that mission to try to change as many people's mind from not owning a firearm to owning a firearm, so you potentially will not be a victim in the future. Because what that does is owning that gun is going to give you a 50-50 chance of surviving that situation. You know what I'm saying? And if you properly prepared, savage ready with the mindset, then that's going to give you more of an 80%. Because when you got them spidey senses, them savage, anti-savage senses kicking off, you going to see that shit. You going to feel that shit and see that shit before it happens. And that's a blessing right there. But I don't know. I don't know what's about to come, but I don't know whether y'all see the same things or that I see. I don't know whether y'all feel the same feelings that I'm feeling, but something is definitely brewing. And whatever that's about to happen, that shit can pop off anytime, any place, anywhere. And I'm not talking about, you know, I'm not talking about savages. I'm talking about something, I feel something big, something that we've never seen before. Something that's probably will change our lives and not for the better. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it's just too much shit going on right now in the world. We got wars that's happening right now. Rumors of wars. We got all these UAP, UFO sightings, man. They released a fucking video with one of these orbs, which is what I saw back in 2016. This thing was like some lava. But imagine that shit in the form of an orb, right? It was like lava with like shit swimming all around with it, like electricity swimming around all in it, and it was like it was a fucking orb. And if I wouldn't have went to the if I wouldn't have tried to stimulate my mama's mind before my mama died, she was in the hospital, and they was saying she was brain dead. And every time when I would go visit her, I would take my phone and I would put it on YouTube and I would play all her favorite songs, like Al Green, Stevie Wonder, Boogie on Reggae Woman, Clarence, Clarence, the person that put out the Turning Point, stuff like that, man, and I would always play her favorite music and I would lay the phone next to her ear thinking I'm, stimulating her brain or something, or, I don't know. But that night when I got back home and I pulled up in the driveway and I got out the car, something caught my attention. And it just looked odd to me. It just stood out like a, sore thumb. And my son, he was like, "Dad, you tripping, Dad? That ain't nothing but a He was like, he didn't say you tripping. He was like, "Dad, that's probably a helicopter or airplane." I said, "Son, helicopters and airplanes, airliners, any airplane, they're gonna make some sort of noise. I don't hear shit. It's crickets out here." So for whatever reason, we getting ready to walk up the steps, go on the porch, but something told me, intuition told me to just stay out there. So I continued to have a conversation with my son, knowing that this thing was getting closer. It was coming my way. I'm gonna tell you, maybe about 2 minutes later, it might have been like maybe, I can't really say how far it was from my house, from where I was standing, but it had to be at least about 2 streets over treetop level. And this thing just stopped as if it wanted me and my son to see it. So I said, "Son, I told you." And it reminded me of the same objects that was seen in Phoenix, Arizona back in 1997. If y'all Google the Phoenix Lights, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. That event, over 15, maybe 20,000 or more people saw a large boomerang craft just gliding across the entire state. I got this indigestion, y'all. So when you see me like that, that's, yeah. Then later orbs were seen. So immediately when I saw it, I'm like, that's what came to my mind, man. But all I can say is, like, when I close my eyes, I can see that motherfucker. And it was one of the most incredible, like, experiences I ever felt in my life, because I knew that I was looking at something that wasn't from this world. Okay? Because what I saw was so beautiful and substo. The light was substo, and it was like lava in an orb. It didn't cast no light. It was just something like warm to look at. And then all of a sudden, it started getting brighter, as if somebody had it on a dimmer, like your chandelier in your dining room. You can dim it or you can make it go bright. It went from dim to bright. And the brighter it got, it started making these electricity like noises and shit, like buzzing sounds. And lava like shit started dripping off of it. And at the same time, it was dripping that lava like shit. Another one just spawned up from behind the tree. And that's when we like at the same time, we was like, oh shit. And years later, I put 2 and 2 together. And the shit that it dripped off, that lava shit, created that second one. And when the other one came from behind the tree, you got the first one, right? The original one, right? The one came up from behind the tree, did just like this, went like that, and then went like that. And it was like some geometry behind this shit. And at that time, my mouth was like, I don't have no fucking, like, I ain't got no fucking battery power because I used it up at the fucking hospital. All I got is this old ass 2010 camcorder that my ex-girlfriend bought me when I moved in with her. And I'm like, I got to go get that because it might be a little bit of battery left. Because, I'm a freak. My woman right here, she used to come over and dance for me and shit. And I would videotape it. Yeah, I'm a fucking freak. I videotape her. I had my own little strip club in my room, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no pole. I wanted to get me a pole. But so I'm like, it's probably a little bit of battery left in this motherfucker. Let me one up. I mean, that camera was some bullshit. It ain't even, matter of fact, it's in the closet right now. It wasn't even HD. I got it back in 2010. Now, if you look right there on that top shelf and you see that box right there, that big brown box, that's a one I got off of Amazon, and it's 4K, but I like my iPad better. You know what I'm saying? I like the iPad is just, to me, is better. Even though that motherfucker 4K, I only used that bitch twice. And the 2 times I used it, it was for my own motherfucking sex tape. All right. I got me a couple of sex tapes in 4K with my woman. All right. So that might be too much information. But getting back to it, I only had that old ass camcorder, non-HD, but I didn't have no other choice. So I ran. My brother Bug was there. My niece Brianna and her kids was there. And I just ran in the house saying, there's UFOs outside. There's UFOs outside. I'm running upstairs to get to the camcorder. I grabbed the camcorder, run back downstairs. By that time, everybody out there on the front porch, like Google-eyed. So I begins to pull open the camcorder. I turns it on, hits the record button. I see nothing through the viewfinder, nothing, just blackness. I don't see shit. And I'm like, I'm pointing it right at these 2 fucking orbs. I don't see nothing. So because I thought that I wasn't filming anything, I stopped recording it. But at one point, a fucking airliner flew over one of these things. And the second that it flew over, it blinked out. And then when the plane passed over it, it turned back, it blinked back on. It turned back on. It stayed there for like another minute. And then all of a sudden, both of them in uniform just floated off. They took off. They floated off. They didn't speed off or nothing. They just floated off. And they went that direction. And we lost them in a bank of clouds. And I got footage. And I know y'all is tired of me saying that shit because I never show it. Only reason, I've been so busy. And I got like 5 or 6 external hard drives on that bottom shelf. And I have to dig through it. But one day I'm going to do a dedicated video talking about it. And at the end, I'm going to show the clip. You're going to hear me talking. You're going to hear my niece. You're going to hear my son. You're going to hear my brother Bug, rest in peace. You're going to hear it. And in the video, let me get to that. So when later that night, I said, let me hook the camera up and try to retrieve the footage to see did I catch something, even if it's just us talking. Man, lo and behold, that motherfucker caught it. In the video, you can see the two. Remember when I told you one was right here and one was like right there? I got that part on the video. And I got the part of the bug and me talking about how it blanked out when the plane flew over. I think I caught that part on video, but I got to go back and watch it. So yes, it's other things that's here. It's more. What I'm trying to say in this life, it's more to life than what you think it is. Now, when we die, I don't know. I don't know whether this body right here is trapping our spirit, our soul. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people may think that it's might. Look at me for an example. I don't think you're going to find somebody else with the same mindset, personality, sound like me. The spirit is what makes you who you are. Like I say, your very essence, right? So what if that is so powerful, and what if it's so strong that when your body die, it don't kill it, it just free it, and that this body, all these vital organs and stuff, is keeping that spirit trapped. Shit, maybe being in the fucking human form, maybe being in this motherfucker mean that you was punished, my nigga, or hell, because we're trapped in this body right here. But when you die, when your organs shut down, that's just like you in prison or in jail, and they have a power outage or something, and then the jail cell doors just open up and your ass is free. Maybe that's what your body is. It's just a vessel. We don't know, man. It's so much. I'm telling you, when some of the shit that I think of, the possibilities, and then we got all the solar system and the different galaxies. You cannot tell me for 1 second that we are the only intelligent motherfuckers in this whole wide universe and all of the other universes and all of the shit that's beyond that. How did that shit come to be? Who created all that shit, man? Who, make this make sense? Have you ever thought about this shit, that we living in a galaxy, but it's other galaxies and solar systems, like millions of other galaxies and solar systems, millions, billions, trillions. We are bound by our own earthly mind. You dig what I'm saying? We are bound by it. Whatever it is, it could be so motherfucking advanced that we can't even contemplate that shit, because we can't even think that motherfucking intelligent enough, because we're bound by our earthly brains, our earthly minds. It could be something that's why when they see these fucking UFOs, like the one that got shot by the Hellfire missile. Man, they shot that motherfucker with a Hellfire missile, my nigga. And all it did was break up. It knocked some shit loose that kept flying with it. It was like these motherfuckers spun, like one fucking orb could create 50 other orbs. Then I'm hearing that this same fucking orb can shape shift, my nigga, into like craft, like boomerang shape craft, like was seen in Phoenix and shit. Y'all remember that shit back in November and December, where everybody was seeing all these so-called drones and shit in New Jersey and New York and shit? Man, let me tell you something. A lot of that shit was orbs. And what the government was doing, they was sending them drones up, because if it get close to the orb will either blink out or run away, and they didn't want people seeing that shit. And they tried to intercept them with helicopters and shit, but when they got close to the orbs, they shit started like malfunctioning, and it put their pilots at risk. So they was like, we gonna send fucking drones up then. I'm telling you, it's something, I don't know what it is. Some people think that they us from the fucking future and that they know how to manipulate time and go back in fucking time. That they us from the future, or they us from another planet that's coming back to their original planet. And this shit with life is limitless, the possibilities of what can happen. But I'm telling you that even if it is an alien landing, that they don't came from another planet or whatever, what the fuck they got to do with us? We still gotta die. That ain't got shit. They ain't got shit to do uh, us when we die. That's like the biggest mystery, but it's something I can't worry about because you can't worry about shit you got no control over. But what you do got control over is the here in the right now that we living in right now. Each and every one of you, you don't have to be here, listening to my crazy ass. You ain't got to be here, but you are here because that tells me that you're like-minded. You know what I'm saying? We agreeing, we vibing or something. We know. If you know, you fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't got it. And plus, it's a lot of evil souls out there, evil spirit, corrupt souls out there, man. All this killing and shit, all these shootings. Nobody wants to talk it out. Nobody wants to fight it out. Everything nowadays end with the pull of a trigger. And so many of us is checking up out of here, leaving up out of here for nothing, over nothing. My nephew ain't here no more. Nigga, how I feel about that shit, that my nephew went to my niece, which is his sister, party and got killed because he was allegedly pouring somebody a drink, a shot, and it was too close to a woman. One of them savages woman. And the savage was like, hey, motherfucker, why the fuck you leaning over my woman for like that? And I know the type of man that my nephew is. He was 32 when he passed. He ain't gonna stand for some. That's just like somebody coming in your fucking house and disrespecting you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm mad because something that happened shouldn't have never happened. It shouldn't have never ever it shouldn't have never ever escalated to the point to where my nephew unnecessarily had to pull his gun. You know what I'm saying? He took it to the ultimate escalation when he done that, and he paid for that mistake with his life. But to lose somebody over something so senseless, so stupid, so dumb, it fucks with me. Of all of the death that I have experienced in my life, from my sister to my other nephew to my father to my mama to Bug, my brother Bug, and then my brother Rob. That's 6 people. His hit different for the simple fact he was killed. And it hunts me. It really do. It fucks with me, and I still can't make that shit make sense. How something so trivial, just in seconds, escalated to the point of him losing his life. And nobody faced no charges or nothing because it was self-defense, man. And this is why I'm telling you, don't be no motherfucker. I don't give a fuck how mad somebody may make you. Don't let them break your cool. The minute they break your cool, you're gonna be a fool. Because you're gonna do something stupid. You're gonna do something foolish, and you might end up losing your freedom or your life or having to take a life. My nephew took that shit too far that night and it cost him his life. I'm not telling him that he had the right not to feel the way he feel, the motherfucker disrespecting you. But sometimes, man, you got to diffuse a situation instead of escalating a situation, you know. And then you jumped into something all of your anger. You didn't even see the other person that happened. You didn't even know that that was the dude's brother, you know, with his hands in his pocket, man. So I don't know what type of shit nephew was on, but I miss you and I love you. And hopefully one day I'll get a chance to see you and we could talk about that shit and how you fucked up that night. You know what I'm saying? Ain't a day go by that I don't think about you. Getting back to when I was living over there in that townhouse and that motherfucking furnace went out and the slumlords they wasn't trying to fix it. So you won't be getting no motherfucking rent from me. But guess who saved me? It was my nephew. You know what I'm saying? He came over. Before I had got him, I had like professional people come, like from, you know, that work on appliances or whatever. I forget what they call them type of men, but one came out. He couldn't get that motherfucker working. I said, nephew. I said, don't blow my motherfucking ass up, but nephew, I need you over here, man. Your aunt over here cold, man. These heaters ain't doing what it's supposed to do. He was like, I'll be there first thing in the morning, about 10. I'll never forget it. That nigga came at about 9:30. And he got in. I let him, you know, we went down in the basement and shit, within 25, 30 minutes, nephew had that motherfucker on. You hear me? And man, to feel that motherfucking heat come out the motherfucking vents, nigga. Man, that felt like like a nigga hitting the lottery for $1 million. You feel me? That's how it felt with that heat. But yeah, I miss him so much, and to know that he's supposed to be here, and then to know that, you know, you died over something so stupid and so, you know, dumb and senseless for nothing. Nobody went to jail, none of that shit. So that shit really, it fucks with me. Every time I'm making a beat or just I ain't doing shit, he crosses my mind, man, you know. And I think about him more than pretty much everybody else, you know what I'm saying? That I've lost, you know. I still can't make that shit make sense. You feel me? And the fucked up thing is, if I'm in a situation and I see one of my loved ones arguing, number one, man, I'm gonna tell my brother. I'm saying, man, let's get he told us to leave, man. He told us to leave. So let's get the fuck up out of here. That means we ain't welcome here. Let's go. Why stay him down? Why tell him, you know, uh, if you they was like, you pull it, you're gonna die. You know. I saw the video, man. So they was baiting him, you know, and nephew fell for the trap, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. The killer, he watches my channel. He know who I am. Because of some, you know, kind of stupid shit that my brother did when my nephew got killed. He went on their page and they was able to find, he went on their page from his real page. So when they went back on his page, they saw everybody. They saw me. They know I'm not the one to fuck with though. I'm the nigga that got the guns. You dig? But he reached out to the niece, which is my nephew's sister, and apologized. He apologized. That tell me that you know, feel guilty about what you did. You know what I'm saying? And it don't bring my nephew back, but I just wish, man, you was watching your brother get into it with my nephew. You know that your brother started this shit. So instead of you with your hands in your pocket, clutching that gun, waiting to see if my nephew gonna pull his gun. Why you couldn't just grab your brother, tap him on the shoulder, grab him by the arm, and be like, "Let's go, man. Let's go." You know, because you might feel bad about it now. Think about this shit. If my nephew really wanted to kill you or shoot you, he got the drop on y'all. He pulls his gun first. He could have opened up on your brother and then opened up on you when he saw you pulling your gun. He had the drop on y'all. But instead, he dropped his gun to his side in the low ready position. And in his mind, my nephew thinking, well, they see I ain't aiming the gun at them. They can't think that, I'm a threat. I ain't aiming the gun at them. I dropped it to my side. Because I don't done, crazy shit like that before in my past. But they didn't see it that way. They had already been telling him if he pull it, he gonna die. He was like, don't pull the gun. I saw the video. They was like, don't pull it. And my nephew the type, I ain't gonna let you fucking punk me. I'm gonna pull my shit. You punking me. You at this point, you punking me. But I would have rather wished that nephew would have just walked away from the shit and left that shithole of a fucking party. But my nephew was a protector. It's niggas there that they don't know that was invited by a so-called friend. He trying to make sure everybody is good because he don't told these motherfuckers to leave not once, not twice, but 3 times. And instead of them leaving, they stand him down like, nigga, what's up? Don't pull it. Don't pull it. So my nephew, oh, you gonna punk me and let me pull my shit. His last words was, do something, nigga. That's what my nephew's last words were. Because they had been baiting him, and they baiting him. And nigga, I really don't give 2 fucks about your apology to his sister, which is my niece, because you participated in it escalating. You could have been like, let's go, man. Let's get the fuck up out of here. We ain't invited here. Let's fucking go. It's that simple. Nephew, why the fuck did you assume? First of all, why the fuck did you feed into that shit? Why the fuck did you let them niggas even get you that fucking pissed off, which I understand? And number 2, the most important, why did you assume that them niggas didn't have no fucking gun? Because if they told you don't pull it, that should imply that they got a fucking gun. So, and number 3, why the fuck did you not go outside and get your peoples that was armed? Because the way that shit went down, if they got you, one of them niggas should have been got. It should have been somebody there that had your back. After seeing them gun you down, them niggas, oh my God. Okay, when they gunned you down, that's when them motherfuckers want to flee, run up out of there and get in their cars and take off. They got shot at by some of his people that was armed. They shot the fuck out of that car, but nobody was hit. Nobody was hit. But I'm telling you, it should have been somebody there to either de-escalate that shit or have my nephew have my nephew's back. You know what I'm saying? One of them motherfuckers would have been shot. But if I would have been there, I would have did everything in my power to de-escalate that shit. I would have been like, hey man, chill the fuck out, nephew, man. Let them niggas be niggas, man. Don't let them let a nigga be a nigga. Don't let them this is your sister's birthday, man. Don't let them steal your joy, man. But I know how he was, and nobody was in his ear to calm the situation down. This is why I don't like going to motherfucking parties and all that shit, man. That all that shit, most of that shit is the fucking devil, because you distracted, and it just it ain't for me no more. It ain't never really been my thing. But I don't like that shit. And I'm gonna say something else, niece. You had Unc to call, to do security, to check motherfuckers for weapons, to search motherfuckers for weapons. Why wasn't there any security there? We in fucking Detroit, man. So that losing him, it fucks with me. And it's just some things in life, man, is just not right. And I don't want nobody else in Gun Freak Nation or anybody that happened to be watching to go through what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? What I went through losing him. This is why I say I don't give a fuck how much somebody might make you mad. You only pull that fucking gun. It's when they pulling their gun when you feel like your life is an imminent, dire danger. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like deadly force is coming your way, then you got every right to pull your weapon and use it. But that's only when you feel that your life is in danger. If you into it with a motherfucker and that motherfucker pull a gun and he drop it to the side, you gonna take a chance and see if he gonna shoot you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say nephew fucked up. Because say for example, nephew would have shot him. Guess what? Nephew would have been in prison for the rest of his life. He ain't trying to go to prison, lose his freedom. He got 2 daughters, young daughters. Think about it. I just wish, man, especially in the hood, I wish we had more conflict. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that word? Damn, conflict resolution. If we can sit down and discuss it and talk instead of, so fast to pull a fucking gun. Like, it was a guy got killed in it's here in Michigan. It was a road rage event, and I'm hearing that they knew each other before the alleged road rage event. But this woman that he got into it with followed him all the way to the gas station. He needed gas. He was pumping this gas. And she rolled up on him, and they, having words again, this time at the gas station. She begins to reach in her purse and be like, I'm going to show you how much of a bitch I am. And she shot the guy 3 times and killed him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, anger, man. That's when you got to keep, you have to keep your composure. I don't give a fuck if they spit on you. First and foremost, don't even entertain the bullshit. Walk away if you can. But if they forcing it and they want to get violent and you feel like they gonna try to, take your life, with it, stab you to death or shoot you or whatever, you got to do what you got to do. Don't never let nobody pull no gun on you and you got a gun and you don't use it. You understand? Because at that point, all right, you really gonna give that person that type of power to be like, I have to wait now and see whether he shoot me or whether he not gonna shoot me. I don't know about y'all, but that's kind of hard for me to do. I don't want to give anybody that type of power if they draw their gun on me or on one of my loved ones. And I have a gun on me, and now at that point I got to see if he gonna shoot my loved one or try to shoot me. Think about that shit. That's seconds, my nigga, that you got to react. So going back to my nephew, I understand why the shooter did what he did, but you don't get a pass from me because before it even got to that point, you could have been like, bro, that's your brother. Let's get the fuck up out of here, man. Let's go. We don't wore our welcome out because of your big mouth. Let's go. It didn't go on like that. And this is why I'm telling y'all to be safe out there, because some of these savages, man, got concealed carry licenses and they can legally carry guns. Some of them think having that CPL is like it gives them powers and shit. They do shit that they usually would not do if they didn't have a gun on. Guns give some people, courage or whatever. I can't pronounce the word good, courage, or whatever. It gives them that, and bravado and shit, and they bigger and better. They think they bad now because they got a fucking gun on them. Those are the assholes, the type of assholes that you got to avoid, man, because them the ones that will get you killed or you have to kill them. You understand? So don't never let no fool break your cool. You did? Don't never let a fool break your cool. It takes two fools to argue. Don't be that fool. Walk away. But if they own that type of time, if they own that type of shit where they trying to take your life, then you get them before they get you. It's just as simple as that. Get their asses before they get you. Life, man, is so crazy nowadays. You can go to the store, to get you some Kool-Aid or get you some chips or something, a party store or something, and get your motherfucking, blown the fuck off. Never make it back home. It was a drive-by shooting in Southwest Detroit last night in Mexican town, man. I'm like, damn. Thank God nobody got killed. A 14-year-old boy got shot all up in the leg, but shit is crazy, and I need everybody in here to keep their fucking heads on the swivel because you just never know what's around that corner. You just never know when that devil gonna try to interrupt your time. Because all we got on this earth, this life, we're bound by time. We was born at a certain time, a certain day, certain time, and we gonna die. I guarantee you, at a certain, time, in a certain day. So we got our time. Nobody can outlive time. That's one thing while you on this earth, you're bound by time. And the devil. And the devil, guess what? These demons, Satan, these savages, they want to cut your time. You know what I'm saying? They want to give you that shortcut. They want to get you up out of here. But see, Gun Freak Nation, we know better because we can see the shit. We can hear the shit. We can feel the shit. We are like-minded and righteous. And we know what we know. We can just feel that shit. This is why you're here now. You know what I'm saying? Connecting because you feel what I'm saying. I'm telling you, something big. I feel it. Something big is about to happen. The writing has long been on the wall. And it's just shit popping off all over the world. Trump, I heard that he bombed another drug boat, this time like in the DR. Then he did a couple of them like a week or so ago in Venezuela. So I'm hearing now that the cartel is putting bounties on like ICE agents and like anybody that's got some type of law authority in the US, is bounties being put on their heads. You don't think that these cartels don't already have cells already embedded into this country? They sneaking them in the same way they snuck the drugs in. But now they might be sneaking fully, auto weapons. And, don't forget about 5-6 months ago, a cartel member was stopped. It was a traffic stop, and they found like ammo, ARs, like cases of like AR-15s, AK-47s. I think it was like over 10,000 rounds of ammo. No, like 50,000 rounds of ammo that they found. You know what I'm saying? So, and the van wasn't headed towards the border. Yeah. It wasn't headed towards Mexico. It was headed, I think this was like in Seattle or some shit like that, man. So if Trump really go hard on them, you don't think they're not going to retaliate within the homeland just to make Trump look bad? I'm telling you, something is in the works. And we got so many people that have differences, man. The country is all kind of divided up right now. And I still say that all this shit is just a distraction from what's really about to happen. Something of the likes that you will never see, that's going to blow your mind and everybody else's mind away. I'm telling you. I'm not talking about the rapture. I don't think it's going to be the rapture, but we are definitely living in the end times. You know, these are, like Prince said, the sign of the times, revelations, you know, the apocalypse. I just feel like some shit is about to happen and we need to be prepared. I'm planning on doing a podcast real soon. You know, maybe I can get, Saint the Realist got a lot going on. I love you, Saint. I'm here for you. I love you. You are my fam. Or Rest B, I love him too. But I want to do a podcast with somebody to talk about how much ammo is too much ammo. I think that would be an awesome topic for the podcast. And I want to hear other people's thoughts and opinions on it. My personal opinion, I think you should have a nice amount of ammo stocked up. No more than maybe 1,000 rounds. That's my personal opinion. You know, and I'm not saying for every gun, because at one point I had like 26 guns. I'm not gonna buy no fucking 1,000 rounds for every one of them fucking guns. You know, it ain't happening. My main ones that I would use. But what I'm saying is, I don't think for the people, and this is no knock on you. It ain't no knock, no judgment here. This is no judgment zone. But I'm just giving you my personal thoughts. I don't want it. The reason why I don't want to have all that shit, tons of ammo, 20,000, 50, 100,000 rounds and all that. I don't want to have all that shit, because in the shit hit the fan, especially if you live in the city, you going at some point you might have to get the fuck up out of the city, out of the hood. You can't travel with all that shit. You cannot. You don't want to take shit that's going to slow you down. Now, unless you come up with some type of like contingency plan where you are working with other people, like your neighbors or whatnot, and y'all setting up perimeters around your block, setting up checkpoints where anybody can't just, run up in your hood on your block, then share that ammo with them. If they got that particular weapon that ammo take, give it to them in the time of need. If it go down to the, if it get to that point, that's the only thing I can see it being useful for. Other than that, you just saving. You don't just gave the savages a fucking ton of ammo that in turn they can use that same ammo to kill more righteous people. Because that's what it's going to come down to: the righteous against the unrighteous, the wicked. You dig? So I just don't understand. I just, me personally, I don't need to have a whole fucking ton of ammo. And then if it's only one of me that can really use the guns, and then we got 100 savages, terrorists surrounding your house, I don't give a fuck, nigga, if you had 1,000,000 fucking guns. If it's just one of you, or either just two of you, and it's 100 fucking terrorist niggas out there, and they want to get in your house, you're not going to be able to stop them. It's not going to happen. And if they can't make entry into your house, then guess what? They're going to do the same thing that Hamas did in Israel on October 7th, 2023. They're going to smoke your ass out. They're gonna set the structure, your house, on fire. And you at this point, it'd be your option to either burn to death or die from smoke inhalation, inhaling that damn smoke. Or you gonna run your ass out and get gunned down. So you're gonna be dead regardless. So my personal opinion, you don't really need to overstock like that unless that's gonna be your last stand. That's the only reason I can think of it. But if it's only one of you and it's hundreds of them, you're not gonna last. Somebody tell you otherwise, they lying to you. That's a fantasy. You did. So I wanna do a podcast on that on that topic. How much ammo is too much ammo? You know what I'm saying? I don't think you need all that much ammo. Like I didn't need all the motherfucking guns. You know what I'm saying? If the shit hit the fan, I got to get the fuck up out of the city. You think I'm taking all the motherfucking guns? I only got 8 guns now. 8. That's a long ways from when I had 26, 27 of them. Almost 30. Hell, I might have had 30 at one point. I don't know. I don't have so many. But yeah. The ones I got now is the ones I plan to keep. I love that Jacko 9 and that Jacko 300 Blackout. Oh, but I haven't even got them to the range yet. I haven't even shot the Marauder with with the super safety on it. I shot it before, but I did 100 rounds and it ran flawless, man. Palmetto State Armory, they killing the game. I want that new the M4A1. They got one for 1,000 because it's got the FN barrel in it. Then they got a regular one with the nitride barrel, I think. And it's only $550 for that motherfucker, man. That might be the next gun I get because it's got that military look. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking M4. You dig? Then they got the Mark 18, the PSA Saber 18, and then they got the regular PSA 18. Basically, that's their version of the Daniel Defense Mark 18. I'll take that over Daniel Defense. I had the fucking Daniel Defense Mark 18. Shot it. I had it for like 2 years. Only shot it once, and I'm like, you know, it. I don't give a fuck about brands and none of that shit. I don't care about that. What I care about is the reliability of a gun. A funky ass Savage breakup in your house. The 5.56 out the Daniel defense supposed to be more deadlier than the one out the PSA. PSA supposed to be less deadly because it's a lesser expensive gun. I mean, make that shit make sense. Oh well, the Daniel defenses is designed to shoot 400,000, 500,000 rounds. Well, guess what? I ain't trying to shoot 400, 500,000 rounds out of my motherfucking gun. All I need it for is every now and then to go to the range and to be able to put a funky ass Savage down. If the motherfucker ever brazen enough to break up a motherfucking house. You dig? That's all I need it for. I don't need it for all that extra shit. But I let people live their life. Knock yourself out. If that's what you like, if that's what you love, then who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying? Knock your motherfucking self out and enjoy this thing called life. Because we just never know. I heard people saying, T, stop all that motherfucking death talk, nigga. You gonna bring death on yourself. Hey, bro, I gotta die one day. You gotta die one day. So why worry about something that you ain't got no control over? You know as well as I know that we both gotta die one day. When that day comes, and every day that goes by, my nigga, bringing us closer to that day. But all I'm telling you is, while we got this day, protect this precious thing called life. You know, protect this precious thing called life from these fucking ain't shit, funky ass, hateful ass, full of evil savages that's out here doing the devil's work. That's all it is. One thing a motherfucker can never tell me is that it ain't no such thing as evil. Come on, man. We had a woman on a subway train get her throat slashed by a deranged, racist ass savage. And you tell me that it ain't no evil in this world. When we got motherfuckers doing harm to babies and kids and unaliving and people just, just willing to kill you and, sex traffic you. And it's a lot of evil motherfuckers in this world. And a lot of them is in our governments. You know what I'm saying? That's in our government. So if you thinking that this world is righteous, then you you sadly are mistaken. We living in a wicked world, and fucking crime is like a epidemic now. I call it the fucking S virus. For savages. S is for savages. See, the problem is, man, it's a lot of guns out there in the wrong hands. And that those hands could belong to criminals. It could belong to an unstable motherfucker. It could belong to a mean motherfucker that don't have a problem pulling his gun and gunning you down over something stupid. Maybe you cut him off in traffic, or maybe you stepped on his foot. Maybe you brushed your shoulder against his and didn't say excuse me or something. But they would take that little slight and they will use that to to be a reason to pull their gun to try to intimidate you and end up maybe taking your life, like that motherfucker down there in Florida. Y'all remember that, where the black man was killed when they drove up in the parking lot and they drove in the handicap zone. They shouldn't have been. I ain't never drive in the handicap zone, but they drove in the handicap zone. Some motherfucker that didn't have shit to do with nothing walked up to him while the dude was in the gas station. The nigga walked up to him. It was a white guy. The white nigga walked up to him, to his woman, and started cussing out, "Bitch, what the fuck you doing in the handicap zone? Bitch, you don't look handicapped to me, bitch. Leave, get the fuck up out of here. I'm the parking lot security police, motherfucker." And this just a regular nigga. I'm joking about the parking lot security. He was just a regular motherfucker that needed to mind his business. So when the dude came out, see this nigga at the car door cussing this girl out, he like, "What the fuck you doing?" And he pushed him away from the car. Like, he pushed him, like, I don't know if he was near the car when he pushed him, but he pushed him, and when he pushed him, he fell down. The second that motherfucker fell down, he pulled his gun, and even though the dude was like, "Ho," he was stepping back, getting ready to walk, he shot him. That's what you call a mean, evil, unstable, going for bad type. Know it all, going for bad type motherfucker. And them the ones that will take your life and not think twice about it, because they crazy. When you're mad, that's the thing that you must avoid, being mad, because when you're mad, your blood is, you're not thinking right. You know what I'm saying? You got your adrenaline pumping. You ain't thinking right. You ain't thinking rational. And you will do something irrational because you're not thinking rational. And that's when you will react to something or do something to cause a reaction, and it ain't gonna go, it ain't gonna go your way. So don't let nobody break your fucking cool. Be cool. Let the devil be mad. All this is, at the end of the day, ain't nobody mad but the devil. The devil hate to see godliness. He hate to see cleanness. He hate to see righteousness. So when we out here doing our thing, living a righteous life, not saying that we are perfect, fuck religion, man. I don't give a fuck about your religion. Religion, politics, and race all were created to divide us. So fuck religion. Religion ain't got shit to do with God. It ain't got shit to do with God. Remember that shit. But you will have somebody out there, I guaranteeing you right now, they mad at me, they about to unsubscribe, which I don't give a fuck, and they talking that shit because that's all they know, because that's what they've been taught, indoctrinated with all their motherfucking life. So if they hear anybody that's any different from their viewpoint on religion, you going to hell, you ain't shit, you brainwashed, you gonna go to hell, you beneath me. I've seen it all. I remember my sister was debating a Jehovah's Witness she was dating and shit. She had to leave that crazy motherfucker alone. That nigga was too hardcore Jehovah's Witness, but yeah. And I'm not judging nobody. Believe in what you want to believe in, but I'm just telling you, religion ain't got shit to do with God. That's some man-made. Religion is some man-made shit. And it was designed to divide people. A lot of people have died because of religion. Wars have been fought because of religion. People have took that shit so serious that they become a suicide bomber for that religion. 9/11 took place and was let to happen because of a religion. You know what I'm saying? Osama didn't like it that Christian soldiers were on the ground in Saudi Arabia. So that's how all that shit sparked off. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna come down to the righteous versus the wicked. That's what it all boils down to. That's what it all boils down to. You got to pick a side. Are you going to be on a part of Satan's army? Because right now it looks like they having a motherfucking dominion right now, man. It's a lot of fucking evil is going on right now. Open your eyes, and I know y'all see it too. I know y'all see it. I know you feel it. Something's about to happen. And I think it's going to be sooner than later. Get ready. You know what I'm saying? I love every single one of you motherfuckers. You hear me? And I can call you a motherfucker. All right? I love you motherfuckers. I fucking love you because whether you believe it or not, you love me too. Something divine brought us together. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to see no harm. That's why we're not sheep. We gonna be the motherfucking gatekeepers. Like I said, at the end of the day, we gonna have to pick a side. We either gonna be walking with the devil, or you gonna be walking with God, the righteous. You know what I'm saying? We not no perfect motherfuckers. We got our flaws. Lord knows that we got. I know I have my flaws. Lord knows, in my weaknesses and in my lust. I that's a whole nother night to talk about my lust and the things that I have. I'm a man at the end of the day, but the thing of it is, you remember that song? I'm only human. It came out in the 80s. We only human, man. We just choose to be a cool, righteous motherfucker. Well, we ain't out there trying to kill nobody, rape nobody, escalate some shit so we can have an excuse to kill somebody. No, we ain't on that type of time. We peaceful people. We cool, peaceful people. We like seeing our fellow brothers and sisters win and come up in life, man. You know what I'm saying? The other day, me and my woman was driving out, and we saw somebody sleeping on the fucking pavement on the sidewalk. Man, that shit broke my motherfucking heart. And I'm like, damn, that's like my brother out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the way we have to like see everybody, no matter what their race is. That's fucking irrelevant, man. You go off of a person's soul, they spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? If they got a righteous spirit, who gives a fuck about some fucking skin that you happen to be in? It makes no fucking sense. You go off of the person's spirit, personality. You know what I'm saying? Um, don't be little minded like that, man. To be a racist and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the most stupidest things ever. And you cheating yourself because you can meet the person that might end up saving your life or having a great impact on your life, but because of their color, you choose to put up a wall, or you hate them, and that's just dumb and stupid. And I just need you to know that the society, this government, whatever else that's running this motherfucker, they all this shit is by design. They want us to hate each other. It's the grand distraction. But why they hate me, like YouTube, and this channel is shadow banned to the fullest, I'm bringing everybody together because at the end of the day, we got. We all of us are in this together. We got at this point. We got. We are going to be the ones ultimately that's going to be standing at the forefront of protecting our family. Right now, the forefront is our homes, our house that we live in. You know, we got to protect it from the evil that's lurking outside. And the evil is, trust me, evil is lurking. I don't want you, today to go out there and meet the devil. Because the devil ain't going to want you to have a good day that day. You probably ain't going to, if you go out there and meet the devil, that's going to be, that day going to be your last day. So when you meet the devil, you got to deal with that situation accordingly. I say remove yourself from that situation if you can. But if they hell bent and they trying to take you up out of here, you got to do what you got to do. Something bad done happen, man. I done heard about 5 or 6 police cars, sirens. I'm hearing this shit. Something bad done happen out there. I'm surprised y'all don't hear this shit either. Sound like it's, a few blocks like on the main street, but yeah. But that ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Keep that funky town. Keep your loved ones close, but keep that funky town sender even closer because that's what's going to save your loved ones and save your life because we in for a fight. Something is going to happen and you can't always depend on the police or the National Guard to come and protect you. Okay? Don't depend on nobody. That sole responsibility is your responsibility. What I look like, somebody breaking up in here and I don't have nothing to defend myself or defend my family, man, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I didn't have no funky town set. I don't give a fuck if it's a 22. Shit, 22s, long rifle 22s don't took a lot of people up out of here. A lot. Shit, that's what took out XXX, that rapper XXX Tentacion. He was shot in the neck twice. So any gun can be fatal. At the end of the day, it's about shot placement. You get hit in the heart with a 22, you're fucked. 22s are even more, I think, can be even more deadlier because them motherfuckers, when they enter your body, them motherfuckers ricochet all over your fucking inside your body. Like zipping every motherfucking where. I don't want to get shot by a motherfucking BB gun. So yeah, 22s. But still, I would not recommend it being your primary self-defense gun. You know, I said 9 mil. I went from 40 to 9 mil. But you know, PSA got a Glock 21 compact for like 350 right now, and it's calling my name, and I just don't know. You know, that would be a 40. You know, the 21 is 45, and it takes the same mags as that Chris Vector up there. See the Chris Vector at the top? That's a 45. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I kind of regret selling my Chris Vector in 10 millimeter because those are kind of hard to find. And in my opinion, 10 millimeter is mm, more deadlier, like more lethal than a 45 ACP. Although a 45 ACP is a big, fat, chunky bullet that will fuck you up, but that 10 mil is a bear stopper. I don't think you can put a bear down in the woods with a 45 ACP, but a 10 mil will knock a bear. From what I hear, 10 mil will put a bear on his funky ass. And that the bear skull, like if you got a little punk ass 22, that ain't gonna even penetrate your skull, you know. Um, but I did hear of somebody being shot with a 22 in the head, and they lived for like a week, and they died. You know what I'm saying? I saw where somebody got shot with a 22 in the heart. They died a painful death. You know, so nobody can tell me anything. Listen, if that's all you got out there, god damn it, then be proud of it, damn it. Make that shit work until you can do better. But you already doing better because guess what? You're armed. So that gives you a fucking a chance to fight back against these stinking ass demons out here. It gives you that right. It gives you that fight. It puts you in the fight and gives you that chance. But also be mentally prepared for that shit. The devil will find a way to get at you and come for you and come after you because he hates you. He see that you're happy. He see that you're doing all of the right things. He see that you're a family man. He see that you're a man of God. He see that you got love in your heart for others. Those are everything that he despises and fucking hates. And he will come for you. This is why I say you can't trust nobody and stay the fuck out the way. I'm not telling you to enjoy this precious thing called life because at the end of the day, life is still short. Whether you die naturally or whether you die at the hands of a savage, life, it'll be extremely short then. But I'm saying life is already short. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it while we got it. Like, just appreciate that we are breathing, that our hearts are beating. Because guess what? If we don't play this shit right, we can be out there in the cemetery next to our people that's out there. Or sitting up in some motherfucking urn because it's expensive as hell for funerals nowadays. It always have been expensive, especially if your ass ain't got no insurance. This shit is expensive. So I don't, burn my motherfucking ass up and throw my motherfucking ashes in the Detroit motherfucking river. I don't give a fuck. I'm dead. I'm up out of here. Ain't another motherfucking worry in the motherfucking world. I guess that's the final piece. When your ass don't exist no more. I wish it was a motherfucking heaven. I wish it was when you died you get to go and you back united with all your loved ones and shit. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be awesome to go and be with your parents again and your siblings and your friends and your pets and stuff? Is it a dog heaven? Is it a cat? Is it a flea heaven? Is it a roach heaven? Is it a roach? Is it a heaven for the roaches? Is it a rat? Is it a what's them big ass motherfucker possum heaven? I think it was a motherfucking possum that went up in my motherfucking car in my Cadillac and bit the O2 sensor and chewed on that motherfucker. And I had to pay it cost me $200 for everything basically. Then 2 weeks later, the motherfucker came right back, and I was ready to go buy me a motherfucking sniper rifle at that point, you know. But I'm just saying, man, that would be amazing if it happened. But a part of me just say, when your ass is dead, you dead. Because I'm looking at it like, I know I've talked about the body being a jail to your spirit and shit, and really your spirit should be free, but this thing called a body, with the vital organs, heart, liver, bladder, whatever, brain, that's what's keeping this body alive, right? But what if your personality, like the essence of you, is like what makes you who you are? What if that is just trapped in this body? And when this body die, it frees it. Wouldn't that be amazing? But then again, it don't make no motherfucking sense, because nigga, you ain't gonna have no eyes. You're not gonna have no nose. You're not gonna have no mouth. It's not a human form. So I don't know, man. Life can be the shit that we don't know of. Like we ain't even went to the bottom of the oceans yet. There's a lot of the ocean that has been unexplored that we don't even know, because the shit is so deep. Let alone the shit that's in outer space, man. It's like have you ever fucking thought, like, why is it how things is what it is, and how did it get like that, and how was all this shit ever created? And like, then when you look out in space and see the other planets and the stars and just everything, what made all this shit? That's what I want to know. Something supreme did that shit. Now you leave it to a scientist. Oh, it started from bacteria. It started from bacteria, and this got with that, but what made the bacteria? And then what made the bacteria? So something gotta go back to just the supreme, ultimate. This is why I say fuck religion. Religion ain't got nothing to do with God. Religion is just a group of motherfuckers, thinking that they shit smell better than the other group of, secular belief group or whatever. They doodle stink more because they believe differently, and they don't like you because your doodle is more stankier than theirs. That's all in their head. You know what I'm saying? It's only one God at the end of the day, but you got motherfuckers that will be ready to chop your fucking head off, chop your nuts off, and because you're saying that your God is the only God. Make that shit make sense. That's why I say fuck religion. Religion ain't got shit to do with God. Religion is a man-made shit designed to divide us. It ain't got shit to do with God, man. But it's a devil out there too. Raping and kidnapping and raping and killing people, torturing people, robbing people. And even when people comply, they still gun them down and shoot them. Like my mans, they got killed around the corner from me at the Coney Island. He gave them, the mistake that he made was getting hungry and wanting to go get him a snack after he left from wherever he was left, because the nigga was shot, man. Nigga looked like he had came from a club or something. But that's the only mistake he made, was stopping off at that damn Coney Island, and he got out with them Cartiers on, and he had on a chain, and the motherfucking savages had been in that parking lot lurking saying who they can get the drop on. When they spotted that nigga with the Cartiers, whatever you call them fucking $1,000 glasses, they rolled up on him, and even after they got what they wanted, they beat him and then shot him and killed him. His memorial is still there, and this shit happened back in 2023, like a month, like maybe like 2 or 3 months before my nephew got killed. So yeah, man, you just got to be careful, man. You just don't know what type of, demonic spirit that you gonna encounter today. You don't know. You don't know. So what you don't know, the unexpected, just be prepared to expect something unexpected. That's the mindset that you got to have. And I'm not telling you to be no paranoid ass nigga. I'm just saying you got to live your life and enjoy this life, but at the same time protect this life. You understand? I love each and every one of y'all. I feel the love. I feel that fucking love, man. I feel that fucking love. I'm fist bumping with y'all. You feel me? We on to something, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, the devil don't like this shit. The devil is against us. The devil don't like the fact that we got love and respect for one another despite our colors, despite our religious beliefs, despite whatever, our sexuality. We got mutual righteous love for one another, and we about being protectors and defenders. And we will protect our family and defend our family, even if we have to go to hell and back. Even if I have to lose my life, guess what? I'm going to lose my life for a righteous purpose, and that's defending my loved ones. If we don't stand for anything, we'll fall for anything, man. And that goes, I'm talking about the government too, how they treat us, But like I'm saying, it's too many guns out there in the wrong hands. So because of that, because we got them in the wrong hands, us righteous, we got to have them in our hands, because we are smart enough to know that you can be the richest motherfucker in the world, and the bummiest nigga that ain't got a penny in his pocket got all the motherfucking power, because guess what? He got that almighty gun, and he got the power at that point. That money can't save you, but if you would have been armed with a gun, that could save you. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get right with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And be the best version of ourselves while we can, while we still here in the land of the living. Enjoy that because a lot of people ain't doing that. D Angelo ain't doing that now. And then we also could be laid up somewhere in a hospital bed or in hospice. So we got to be thankful for the things, for the life that we do have, because a lot of people suffering right now, especially the people that got cancer and shit like that. Cancer is a horrible, horrible thing to go through, and especially when it's terminal, man. It's the things, man. Life ain't fair. I think about my sister, how she suffered. I'm like, man, that could have been me. I remember her screaming in pain, saying, "Why me, Lord? Why me?" And I remember when she was like, "I'm ready to go home," and I remember that morning when she went home. She summoned everybody to come to her room. She had one of them hospital beds and shit, the oxygen tanks and whatnot. And I don't know how she did it, but she muscled up enough strength to give everybody a hug. And I remember when she grabbed my ass, man, she held me the fucking longest and the tightest, man. Me and her, we was very close, very, very close, man. And like, not even 5 minutes after that, she was gone. She was gone. So that tells me she knew she was about to, check out that day, man. But it would be nice to be able to see your loved ones. And sometimes I wonder, from time to time, I'm like, damn, man, they gone. I can't believe they gone. And why them and not me? That could have been me. But they're gone. But then when I get to thinking about it, it'll be me one day. It'll be me one day. One day it will be me. I don't know when that day gonna come, but one day it will be me. And the only thing that separate me, that separate us from them is what? Time. You know? So time is of the essence. And now it's time for me to go down here and make me one of these badass. I went and got the Taco Bell kit. The what is it? The burrito kit, where it come with all of the seasoning, the rice, all that shit. I'm not good at the rice. I'm gonna ask my baby, can she make that rice for me? But I'm about to fuck it up, you know. Get that fuck the seasoning that come with it. Get the McCormick hot season. Nigga, if you take you some ground turkey meat and you put the McCormick hot taco season, it's gotta be the hot. It can't be the regular, can't be the mild. It's gotta be hot. Take that hot season and mix it with that ground turkey. You got you legitimate 100% Taco Bell meat. I mean, you cannot taste the difference. I'm telling you. Ground turkey, McCormick hot taco seasoning is just like the Taco Bell meat. Makes it taste exactly the same. And that's what I'm getting ready to do right now, God damn it. And I might even go live and do a motherfucking my burrito, that I'll be making my own burrito for the very first time. And I might go live and do a mukbang and talk about whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm surprised y'all don't hear my motherfucking stomach growling, and then my motherfucking sleep schedule is off. I'm waking up at 9 o'clock at night, and then going to sleep at like 1, like 12 to maybe 1. That's when I fall asleep. Then I wake up again at 9. This shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I got to get back on track. You know, I'm a natural night owl. I've been a night owl all my life, but not like this. You feel me? So I'm hungry, and I'm about to, make this burrito kit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to jump on this shit. You did? Your boy T got to eat, but I love every one of you motherfuckers. Don't let no haters distract you. That ain't the haters is just the devil. Y'all see my beard though? That I'm growing. Y'all see it? The beard. It ain't got thick yet. And then my mustache, I'm gonna grow my mustache back. But anyway, don't let that devil distract you from what you got to do in life, to further and progress in life. That's what life is all about. Progressions. Life is like a book. It's got a beginning and it's going to ultimately have an ending. But we get to write the chapters in that motherfucker. Like I say, it's like a movie that you are directing. Don't let no funky ass savage or anybody else tell you can't do what you want to do with your life. After all, this is your life. This is your life to live. Nobody else's. Don't live it for nobody else. Don't give a fuck about another person's opinion. This is your life. You only human. We gonna make our, I don't like to say mistakes, because mistakes are only lessons. You learn from your mistakes, but we're only human. We gonna have our flaws. We gonna have our lust. Like I say, one night I'm gonna talk about the lust of TT Man, because I wasn't T Electric then. I was TT Man. You know why? Because it was a porn star back in the day called TT Boy. And I was such a big freak, looking at this nigga's, all his porn movies and shit. I said, man, fuck TT Boy. I'm going to be fucking TT Man. And I love titties. You know what I'm saying? I love titties. It's a beautiful thing, man. God created them. I love them. I appreciate them, So TT meant for that too. So I was TT Man. Oh, I was a horrible. When I say horrible person, I mean I wasn't out there harming anybody. I was just out there wilding out, living reckless. Just fucking a lot of women. Just I don't know, just being irresponsible, man. I didn't want to get my fucking driver's license. I was a trifling motherfucker. I was the type of nigga that would take any old plate. My brother Bug was a mechanic, man. He had cars and shit, always laying around and shit in the backyard and shit, man. And damn, fucking up mama backyard, man, with all these motherfucking cars, nigga. But I would take a plate off of one of his cars. It could be from a Pinto, or a Malibu or something. And I'll take it and put it on my motherfucking Cadillac or something. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no Cadillac back then. I forget what car I had. I had a motherfucking tracker I bought from my brother for $400. Y'all remember them trackers back in the 90s? They was like Jeeps and shit. You could take the motherfucking roof off that bitch, and it was a tracker. It was like a little ass Jeep. Do y'all remember them motherfucking trackers? Man, I got so much motherfucking pussy because of that motherfucking tracker. I'll take that motherfucking roof off, and I'll be driving in the wind, blowing all through my motherfucking curly, silky, straight, wavy hair, nigga. I got so much pussy in that motherfucking tracker, that little ass tracker. I say, bitch, get your ass in the back seat. You want to feel this hair or feel this motherfucking hair? God damn it. While I eat your pussy. You dig? Yeah. T was wild and just reckless back then. You know what I'm saying? I was the type of nigga when I did get my plate, I didn't want to pay no motherfucking insurance. So what I would do, I would take a motherfucking crayon, a magic motherfucking marker, however you say it, a magical marker, and whatever. If that motherfucker was orange this year, I'm gonna get the orange marker and paint that bitch orange. The tag, the tab, the tag that go on your plate. I would paint that bitch. I remember I got pulled over by the cops, man. And when they saw that shit, man, them niggas bust out and went to laughing. They ain't even give me no motherfucking ticket. They was like, nigga, we gonna give you a warning, man. Take that motherfucker piece of shit back home and park that shit and don't drive it no more. If I catch you in the motherfucker again, I'm gonna arrest you. Yes. I had cops actually do that favor for me and say that shit to me. So yeah, I was one of them type of niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got in trouble with the gun. Y'all know when I went to jail that time when I was an armed security guard and I didn't get the concealed carry. But they said you can still work, but you just gotta transport your gun, unload it, and it's gotta be separated in the car from the ammunition. That's how I was getting to my job locations. Well, one night when I was going to work, and the thing that was fucked up that night, I wasn't even scheduled to work. I was filling in for another nigga. I was just, laying at home, not doing nothing, watching TV, scratching my balls, and I get a phone call, and it's my supervisor, T. You feel like, getting some extra work tonight, man? One of the guards in Southfield, across 8 Mile Road, y'all. I know y'all know about 8 Mile. Eminem, 8 Mile. Yeah, that fucker actually exists. Yeah. So that's what they said. Back then, they said, don't take your black ass across 8 Mile. That's Oakland County. And the white folks out there, they don't want your black ass there. And they don't play that shit. Well, guess what? It's the Oakland County. It's the Southfield store. And I'm thinking, shit, man. I'm laying in bed doing nothing. So I might as well be at work making some money doing nothing. Because basically, when your ass is security guard, see, I mostly work midnight shifts. My shift was like 11 to 7. So for the most part, like when 1 o'clock kick in, 2 o'clock, ain't nobody in that motherfucker. That's the most boring part of it. And then maybe around 5:30, people start to trickle back in these CVS's. They get their coffee, their newspaper, shit like that. They on their way to work, or they stopping by from work. You know what I'm saying? But on that particular night, I wasn't even supposed to work, but I wanted to make that extra money. And I said, oh shit, that bitch is in Southfield. That's in Oakland County. That's across 8 Mile. my shit was down at the time, and I was using. Matter of fact, it wasn't down. I let my woman at the time use my car. So I was at my mom's. I said, let me use the Jeep, the Grand Cherokee. I didn't know Daddy and them hadn't drove that motherfucking forever. So the tags was expired. The tags was expired on that motherfucker. I'm a naive nigga. I didn't know how serious that shit was. The tags and all that motherfucking shit. I didn't give a fuck. That was the type of nigga I was. So I grabbed the gun, and initially I did it the right way. I unloaded it, I had to separate it, but the Jeep needed some gas. So I stopped off at that gas station right there on Grand River and Telegraph. It was some niggas standing in front of the door, looking kind of hostile. It was another nigga and a car with the hood up. I'm like, I wonder if these niggas in cahoots with one another. I said, you know what? I'm in my motherfucking uniform. Niggas tend not to like niggas in uniform. They don't like nothing, no authority. And then I might have had put one of them niggas out or something like that. So I said, let me load my gun, because what I look like pulling an empty gun if I have to pull it. So while I'm sitting in my Jeep, in my parents' Jeep, I pulled out the revolver. It was a Smith & Wesson 357 revolver. And I began putting the 6 or 7 bullets in it. There were 38 specials, I believe. Okay. I put the gun in my holster. I walked towards the niggas that was in front of the gas station door. They politely got out my way. I went in there and I put like $5 in the tank. $5. That's all I had on me at that time. I put it in the tank. Went back to the pump, and I started pumping my gas. And that nigga that had the hood up like he was working on the car, he started approaching me. I said, man, what? Chill. I said, don't walk up on me. Because I had that gun in my holster on my hip, right? He said, my bad, man. I was just asking, could you give me a jump? I said, man, my bad, man. A lot of niggas been coming for me because they mad because I've been putting them out the store, right? And he's like, I get it, man. I said, I would give you a jump, my brother, but I'm already late. I'm headed to my job. I'm already late. So that comes to tell me that I was just a paranoid motherfucker back then. You dig what I'm saying? I was savage ready back then. But it's a shame that you can't sometimes give people the benefit of the opportunity until you further investigate the situation. But anyway, I said the mistake I made is that when I got in the car, I was in a rush to get back to, to get to the job. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Once I get on Southfield Freeway, the freeway in about 5, 6, 7 minutes, the freeway gonna turn into the highway. And then you come to a light, and then the CVS is sitting over there to the left. I said, fuck it, man. I ain't about to take the bullets out. It's slowing me down, making me late. So that's where I fucked up at. So I jumped on the freeway. Freeway turned into the highway. I got to the light. And as soon as that light hit green, them motherfuckers flashed me. Put me over in the parking lot, and they was like, we pulled you over because your tag is expired. So the way expired. So the way them motherfuckers was positioned, they was watching every motherfucking car that was coming from the Detroit side of the border. And they got in back of mind, and when they saw that expired tag, it's like, we got one. We got us one. And then when I got out the car, he was like, step out. He saw the gun in the holster. I didn't have no driver's license at the time. It was expired. He saw the gun. He said, fuck the driver's license. What you got? Matter of fact, nope. They ain't how it went. when the police got in back of me, I I put I took the gun. Matter of fact, the gun was in the armrest. In them Grand Cherokees, you got them armrests in between the two seats. But I didn't unload it. So if I would have knew that that shit was that serious, nigga, when you get a felony, I could have easily have lifted the armrest, took the 357 out, and just emptied the bullets out of it. But I'm thinking, man, I'm in my motherfucking uniform. He's a cop. I'm trying to go to work. This motherfucker, when I stepped out, he saw my uniform. He saw that empty holster. He said, "Where the gun at? Where the gun at?" I said, "It's in the armrest." "Why is this gun loaded? Do you have your CPL?" I said, "No, sir, I do not, but I'm at work. You making me late for my job. You don't believe me?" There go my manager standing up at the door. "Manager, will you verify that I'm your guard for tonight?" "Yes, that's our guard." They didn't give a fuck. They slapped the cups on my motherfucking ass. Nigga, they took me to the motherfucking precinct. I'm in there handcuffed. Motherfucking inmates and shit, other prisoners in there looking and laughing and what the fuck you do? Ah, they caught the guard stealing. They caught your ass stealing and you the guard. I said, hell no, man. But it was fucked up how they treated me, because when I went before the arraignment, they was like, yes, we did, we saw the suspect in the suspected vehicle, and we pulled in back of the suspect in the suspected vehicle, and we saw that the tags was expired, and the suspect, when we did the traffic stop, the suspect was armed. He didn't say shit about me being a security guard in my uniform. When it's report, he didn't mention none of that shit. He didn't mention that I was at my job location at my job. He didn't mention none of that shit. So they thought I was just some nigga out there just riding around on some bogus plates with, bogus expired tags with a gun. So they was like, well, for the victims of Oakland County. I said, victims of Oakland County? Nigga, all I was trying to do was go to work that night. We got to charge you with a $2,500 fee. You got to do this, do that, and all that. And then they was trying to hit me with a fucking felony for CCW violation. I'm like, what the fuck? So, and I'm not going to say the race thing, even though it was a couple of white dudes out there, like fellow inmates, was like, man, they about to hang your black ass. They didn't say it like that, but they was like, you're black. They going to throw the book at you. Even one of the deputies out there was like, look, man, stay your ass on the other side of 8 Mile Road, man, because they gunning for blacks out here. You know what I'm saying? You get caught up, they trying to make an example out of your black ass so other blacks won't come. You did. So it was on that type of shit. So I met the prosecutor. At first, they didn't know what to do with the case. It took 3 months just for them to decide on what they was going to try to charge me with. But when I met the prosecutor, a cool ass, young ass white dude, cool than a motherfucker. He was like, Mr. Hatcher, I kind of want to apologize. I didn't know that you was, I didn't know the circumstances. I didn't know that you was on your way to work and that you was in your uniform. I didn't know that. I tell you what, we gonna make it because of that, and because you wasn't able to work. That's another thing. My bitch ass security guard company would not let me go to work. I couldn't work for like 3 or 4 or 5 months because they was like, we can't have you on the job because you got a potential felony case pending, and they hadn't even charged me yet. And they was like, you can't get unemployment because technically you still employed. We just can't deploy you to send you nowhere to no CVS's because you got a potential felony case. You got a felony case pending over your head, which was some bullshit because I hadn't been charged with anything. So what happened was, once when I talked to the prosecutor, he was a cool ass young dude, man. He was like, you know what we gonna do for you, Mr. Hatcher? We gonna since I know the circumstances and this is your first time getting in any trouble, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this law. It's this old hunting law from the 1800s where it was called failure to inspect your weapon. Like some of the hunters would be out there and maybe their gun might go off or some shit like that. So he was like, we're going to dig that old law up and apply it to you. So therefore, we're going to reduce the charge from CCW violation, which is a felony, to failure to inspect your weapon, which is a misdemeanor. And because of that prosecutor, I'm able to own the guns that I have right now. Amen. So it's good, righteous people that's, because the judge was an asshole, you know, I mean, it's a long story, but it's just to tell you that I hold myself accountable too. It taught me to grow in life and stop trying to do all this shortcut shit. You feel me? I went ahead and applied for my CPL, which is my concealed pistol license. I went ahead and got my driver's license. Um, and I just wanted to do things by the book because had I done that back then, I could have just laughed in that cop face. Give me my ticket for the expired tag and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But because I was being selfish, I didn't give a fuck about whatever, you know, and I was like, fuck that. I was like, fuck getting a CCW. Fuck getting my driver's license, man. I don't give a fuck about being pulled over. I was just reckless at that time, with the women I was dealing with. Don't let me get into Maria no more. I don't even, we'll be here for the next 3 hours and my stomach growling. But I about to tap out and make these motherfucking burritos, and I'm probably gonna go live eating them motherfuckers. They're gonna be so good and delicious. You hear me? But anyway, man, I love y'all. You hear me? I fuck with ya. I fuck with you. You feel me? Each and every one of you, I love. I wish nothing but blessings and happiness and peace in y'all life. You hear me? Because y'all so worth it, man. Don't let nobody, no devil, none of that tell you that you can't do it. You righteous, and we only got this one life. So let's hey, like that what's that song? Make it last forever and ever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Keith Sweat, And rest in peace to D Angelo. I love you. And I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Gun Freak Nation. Salute, baby.